All of a sudden, it's late afternoon and you realize you have no clue what to do for dinner. Yet again, can you just grab takeout? In today's episode, I'm going to share what you need to remember when you just want to grab takeout, because sometimes it's okay, but other times, this is what you need to know. Here we go. All right, we are back talking about keeping it simple, dinner time when you just want to grab takeout. We've all had it happen where all of a sudden, like you look at your clock and it's 5 o'clock, or something happens and like, oh crap, I got to figure out what's for dinner. Like, have you seen the memes? Like, adulting is just like having to figure out what's for dinner every single night. Like, that's like one of the worst parts. I can almost agree with that because it can be the thing like, oh, we have to eat again. Like, why are you still hungry? Are you with me? But let's see. I've got a couple things here for you. The temptation of takeout, right? The reason why we're always like, oh, we should just go get takeout is because it's easy, okay? Like that easy button Staples used to have. I don't even know. Do they still have the easy button? But like that's why it's just a popular choice. Like we have to figure this out. This is not a negotiable. This isn't something that we can put off to the side. This problem has to be solved now. Easiest way to solve it, just grab takeout. And then you got like Uber Eats and everything else that delivers. And we're all busy, right? But the problem with that, and when it can be a problem, of course, like we can talk about cost, because yes, you should be having money in your play account and designating money like for this fun stuff. But if you're just doing it because we didn't have anything planned for dinner, you're not really choosing the takeout. It's almost like happening as a byproduct. So it's not as intentional. And that's why I'm not a fan of it. Okay. And then, of course, we can talk about the health concerns because obviously fast food is not as good for you as like home cooked food, and probably even like some of the freezer meals and stuff. There's just more additives in those things, fattening. Oh, we can go to the whole thing. Okay. But there is a solution. Okay. So, how do you fight the temptation to go get takeout all the time? This is part of my meal planning made easy strategy. It's called go to meals. Okay. So this is a list of meals. You keep the ingredients on hand, that they're simple, they're quick, 30-minute meals that you can make like very easily. Okay. They're recipes for meals that can be done with very minimal ingredients and not a lot of effort. Okay. So you could do like spaghetti is normally one for a lot of people, chicken nuggets and mac and cheese, corn dogs. Let's see what else we have on our list. Frozen pizza, chicken fried steak is another one that we can put together in like 25 minutes. Really simple. Some form of fish, frozen fish that you've got on hand. It could be fish sticks if you got kids, or we have like a Parmesan tilapia that we keep on hand that's frozen, really quick to make. Okay. You're just throwing stuff in the oven. Wings would be another option. Let's see. You could do things like bratwurst. You can do things like hot dogs. You can keep like ready to go meals on hand. They just need to be thrown in the oven. You'll notice it's not necessarily like super healthy choices, right? Like that's not the problem. Most of the time we've got veggies on hand that you can like throw together, or a fruit or something, or like we have fries that will work. Like we can go put them in the air fryer or something like that. Okay. It doesn't have to be super healthy. The point is, it's better than the takeout, and then you can choose when you want to go out to eat, like as a time that's important to you. So you're going to be able to like, it doesn't have to be again like the super healthy thing. This is better than what it was, and you're still going to be covered. I also keep a list of like go-to crock pot meals so that you can set them up ahead of time. That only works if you set them up ahead of time. I am a fan of like dump in crock pot meals. Okay. But to really have the dump in crock pot meals, we're going to talk about meal planning. Okay. So the way that I structure meal planning, the way that I recommend structuring meal planning is keep your list for the week. Depending on like a leftover night and like an out to eat night, typically between 5 to 7, I plan 6 meals a night. or 6 meals a week. 6 meals a night would be a lot. We'd be eating a lot of food. Please send help. But 6 meals a week, because sometimes in there we'll have like, a leftover day or we're out to eat. There's something that's happening in there. Okay. But I'm flexible on what day of the week I actually make the item. So when I write out my list, actually, as I'm recording this is a Thursday. So I did this morning for next week. So you write it out and I kind of have like a game plan. Okay, this would be like, the enchiladas for next week go on Tuesday. Cause normally it's like Taco Tuesday type thing, but it's flexible and I can change what day of the week that I make something depending on how life happens. So there's a go-to meal built in every single week that we're using, rotating through the stash. And then typically the way that I structure it is I pull a recipe from my chicken list. I pull a recipe from my Mexican list. I pull a recipe from my Italian list. I pull a recipe from my pork and other list and the go-to meal. I think that was all of them. And it's just rotating through. Yes, you could do like a week A, week B, week C, and just rotate like that. So you don't even have to think about it, but I enjoy the customization of it. And within that, one of those categories somewhere is going to have a crock pot meal. On my meal planning sheet, I've labeled which ones are crock pot meals. This week, actually, instead of the crock pot meal, I've got an air fryer. So we're doing the air fryer chicken thighs on Monday, which again is a little bit simpler. There's some ease in there, but I also have like backup, like spaghetti. I do my spaghetti sauce in the crock pot, so I count that as a crock pot meal. And just being flexible, okay? We're including the crock pot option. You can also outsource, like have your kids involved, have your spouse get involved. You can buy like those meals plan services if they work for you. We haven't had one that works for us. I've got picky kids, picky husband. Like this just works better. And then of course, we also enjoy using a lot of the food and the produce from their garden, like we talked about last week with our food security. But the point of this is being intentional with when we went to go out to eat. This isn't like you have to never go out. Like I think that you should. And we typically do at least once, sometimes twice a week that we're out for a meal. But we're able to do that because we're intentional with the other times and have tools in our toolbox to be able to move forward. Okay. I teach all of this inside my meal planning made easy, which is available as a bonus in the productivity system or within the academy. I'll include links to both of those to check them out below if you have questions or want to learn more, but we're keeping it simple, right? Choosing intentionality with takeout. We're going to put go-to meals on, and then we're going to meal plan and make sure we include a crock pot option. That's what I've got for now. Send me a message on Instagram. I want to hear if these are helpful, the Keeping It Simple series. This is second one, and I think I have 6, 9 planned for you. So I want to hear from you at Aimee Cerka on Instagram. We'll see you next time. Bye for now. Thank you so much for listening to the Your Money, Your Life podcast. Wondering what's next? When you're ready, there are different levels of support that you can use on the path to creating unstoppable finances and your unstoppable life. After all, your finances are unique and your support should be too. Ultimately, we'll create a customized plan to ditch financial struggle for good that works for you, your goals, your priorities, your life. Go to workwithaimee.com to get started with one of our most popular programs, or you can book a Q&A call with me and we'll figure out what your next step should be.